Hello, hello, and welcome to the Penguins Collective Podcast. My name is Louie.
My name is Josh,
Oh, and we're two brothers who love to talk about hockey.
especially the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, do we have an off-season episode for you? The Pittsburgh Penguins make some changes. The Player Awards happen today. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 awards to hand out today, and we'll get into it. But before we do, Josh, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We are not live. We usually go live after every single game during the season, but not during the offseason. The offseason, we just pre-record. We send out the video. We would like to do about 3 episodes a month. That's what we would like to do. So we have plenty of time to do off-season what ifs, like who the Penguins should re-sign, who the Penguins should trade for, what is Dubas's next steps. All that will be in another episode today. Just a little bit of news and player awards. Other than that, we have some time, baby. We got time before the season starts. Probably because the Penguins did not make the playoffs. So we have time, okay? But thank you guys for watching, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever. I appreciate you listening. Or if you're listening on a podcast version, thank you for listening on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your favorite podcast. Thank you so much. With that being said, Joshua, let's get into it.
Lewis. Yes.
Let's get into it. All right. Little bit of news. I feel like I should be like, it should transition, like the camera spins and like I turn my chair and it's another camera angle. And then I have like papers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here at the Penguins, I have sticky notes.
Cube,
but
like the little box.
It comes up.
Yeah.
And the pictures come up. We should do that. We should look into that. But before, we got a little bit of news for the Pittsburgh Penguins. A re-sign and a new sign. The Pittsburgh Penguins re-sign forward Sam Poulin to a 2-year contract. The details are unclear. Actually, nope, got him very much so right here in front of me. The contract runs through 2025. I didn't know how fast it was going to load. It got here just in time. Contract runs through the 2025-2026 season, so 2 years, and carries an average annual value of $775,000 at the NHL level. So what did we get him for? Cheap. We got him for cheap. So great. We got, basically league minimum, I'm pretty sure, is $775,000 is league minimum for NHL. So that's awesome.
I just throwing a little tidbit. We actually got him for less than we were paying for him this year.
Kyle Dubas is a mastermind, okay? So let's give props to Kyle Dubas. Also, Penguins sign goaltender Philip Larson to a 2-year contract as well. He's from the Detroit organization. Yeah, the 2 goalies we got this past season from Detroit. We got another Detroit goaltender. He runs through 2025-26 season, and you guessed it, $775,000 for this guy. So chump change. This is pocket change. This is pocket money. All right. How are we redoing things? It looks like this signifies a goaltending change. Now, is it up at the NHL level? I'm not saying this guy's coming up to the NHL. I'm just saying, does this signify the exit for Alex Nedeljkovic? You bring up Bloomquist and you figure out what to do with this guy. Does he go to Wheeling? Does he go to Wilkes-Barre? Right, Josh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what we talked about a few episodes ago about how, can't keep both, especially with how well Alex Nedeljkovic played to end the year. He's going to demand a high salary, probably with I shouldn't say, long term, but multiple years. So don't want to handcuff yourself when you're already paying Jari. I think it's $5.25 over 5 years. So kind of got to keep
Crazy.
it with Jari, unless if you're able to move him, but that's for another episode. But for the time being, with an expiring contract of Alex Nedeljkovic, you can only presume that they're going to have Bloomquist, who like pretty much won goalie of the year in the AHL,
Well, not really,
and
but
broke the I don't know, franchise for AHL. The Penguins
yeah,
record held by Fleury for the
yeah,
most
the most wins.
wins.
Yeah,
So, I mean, the
great
guy,
rookie too. Great
yeah,
rookie.
he's got the skills theoretically that will be able to translate into the NHL. So hopefully that will work. And then this guy, like you said, will either just slide right into the backup AHL role or wheeling nailers.
Yeah, and also Kyle Dubas in his kind of exit press conference of the season kind of said he wants Bloomquist to make an effort going in this upcoming season to get a NHL roster spot. So if he wants him to get a roster spot, and we know we have Jari for a bit, it doesn't really leave room for Nedeljkovic, especially cherry on top, signing this guy for a 2-year deal. It looks like one goalie has to go, and it looks like the target is Alex Nedeljkovic. Speaking of, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, and we could be wrong too, and this could literally just be farm system depth because
That is also true.
Before Dubas came in, we had no farm system. So now he's been building it up for the last 2 years. But maybe that's all it is. And because it is a super minimum deal.
It is in the offseason, and there's a lot of like high expectations. So we're thinking, oh, something's happening. It could definitely be like what Josh is saying. Absolutely nada. It could be, no, he's just going to Wheeling. So kind of figure that out. It could be. I don't know. But there is also some other news on who is going, who's not going. We know who's at, and that's Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. We had some hopes for them. There's a lot of depth, like Josh said. Kyle Dubas likes to kind of get depth in organizations, and he specialized this season in getting people to go to Wilkes-Barre to kind of build that up. They're back in the playoffs this season.
Well, yes, I was just going to say right before the playoffs started for the AHL, he sent down everyone. Pusanen, Zahorna, oh my God, who were all the other guys that were
like Hinostroza, but he was down already.
Yeah, he was already down.
Poulin, of course, he got sent back down. And he sent people down for that push.
He sent a bunch of people down.
We don't have it on names, and honestly, it doesn't really matter. You know why? Because it didn't work out. He could have sent Sidney Crosby down. Well, if he sent Sidney Crosby down, they probably would have made it past the first round. But unfortunately, the way the AHL works, which is one step below the NHL, the first round is out of 3 games, not out of 7. It's a stupid rule. Don't like it. And I'm pretty sure the next round is out of 5 games. I'm pretty sure. And then it's out of 7 games. Makes no sense because the Penguins were in a good spot at the end of the season. So they were kind of like the New York Rangers of the AHL. They weren't the best in the Metropolitan. Were the Rangers the best in the Metropolitan? Or no? So I'm sorry.
Sure.
They're like the Carolina Hurricanes of
they were
the
second.
AHL. There we go.
Yeah.
I figured it out. It took me a second. It's fine. Anyway, Wilkes-Barre, Carolina Hurricanes of the AHL. They had a pretty good shot of making it past the first round. But when it comes out of 3 games, if you lose 2, you're out. So that's horrible mindset because if your mind is on later in the playoffs when you know you can lose at least 3 games and still win a playoff round, it kind of stinks, especially in the second game when you lose in overtime.
Yeah.
Doesn't
after leading 3-1 in the third period.
And in Penguins fashion, they blow the lead and they lose in overtime, and the Penguins are out of the Calder Cup playoffs in the first round. And days after, Kyle Dubas said, guess what, guys? You're all fired. All the coaches, all of them, gone. They made it very nice sounding by saying we're not going to renew their contracts because everyone was on a 1-year contract down there. But they're all gone. They are not coming back. JD Forrest, or however you say his last name, gone. Not coming back. Wilkes-Barre is going to retool. Maybe there's some things in the future that Pittsburgh can help them with. But as of right now, Wilkes-Barre is out of the playoffs, and they fired their whole coaching staff.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how much Dubas, was really invested in these guys. Like you said, they were just kind of riding out their contract that had 1 year left. I'm sure they had the conversation going into the season. I'm sure coach was going to Dubas, trying to feel him out. Am I going to get an extension? Are we going to play this out? And ended up just playing it out. And like you said, they worded it that we're just not going to renew these guys at this time. So
right.
We're now on the hunt for an AHL coaching staff. And there's talent down there. Like, don't get it twisted. Owen Pickering is most likely going to start the year down there instead of just coming up halfway through.
Maybe Braden
Yeager may make an appearance at some point next year. So
that's the hope. That's the hope.
Yeah. And realistically, that's the timeline because he's playing phenomenally right now. I mean, he's now on, Team Canada, right? He made I don't know, one of the teams for Canada.
He's doing something. He's doing something.
So it who knows, what type of, production you're going to see out of there. And you're going to want a coach that's going to help develop these guys. And that's hopefully what I would like to see out of the AHL coach. And I think that's what Sullivan was for the AHL when he was down there. He helped develop those guys. And that's why when he got the call to the NHL, he brought all those guys that he developed with him. Gensel, Kuhnackel, Rust, Sherry. He brought all those guys with him. Hopefully that's what we'll get in turn. And hopefully, guys like Sam Poulin, Vinny Henestroza, Owen Pickering, they'll make that next step. St. Ivany.
Did you say Puustinen?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I feel like Puustinen is going to start in the NHL next year. But that's for a later date. But I mean, guys who are going to be, AHL regulars
Bloomquist
that will need to be developed down there. St. Ivany did a really good job when he was up in the NHL, but he's not an NHL ready defenseman yet. I think he needs another year in the AHL, and then he'll be on his way. But we'll see what happens. Still early in the offseason. We haven't even finished the playoffs yet.
That is true. There's a lot of time, and also there's the IIHF league.
Yeah, that's true.
Happening.
I guess that's what it is with Braden Yeager.
Braden Yeager. Also, Carlson is going to go play for Sweden and Pedersen. Pedersen.
I think I saw
Pulley Arvey and Puustinen are going to play for wherever those kind of people come from. Sure.
I think they're Finnish.
Sure. Sounds good to me. That's where they're going to go play.
If you give me 10 seconds, I will find it.
You better find it. I'm pretty sure it's on the Penguins app. I'm sure they announced it. So we have some
Finnish.
Penguins. All right, there you go. It's confirmed. That's all going to happen during the offseason. So there's plenty of time, like Josh said.
Yeah. And Michael Bunting.
Michael Bunting, Canada. Or U.S. Canada.
No, Canada. He's taking Crosby's spot.
Yeah, because Crosby, I ain't doing crap, my guy. He said, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. He probably got off the season. You know how they do the exit interviews, and obviously Sid is a competitor. He hates to lose. And he's just like, listen, this is how I'm feeling. Probably when the cameras went away and he got to go home to his probably magnificent house. He was like, guys, I'm going to sleep for the next month. Okay. Do not bother me. I don't want to hear about contract negotiations. I'm just going to go to bed and I'm going to be like a bear. I'm only going to wake up for food and then go back into bed. Like, that's all that Crosby, and he deserves it. I'm not saying he doesn't. He absolutely deserves it. There's a lot of offseason left. There's going to be a lot of moves, a lot of announcements probably going to be made. Like Todd Reirden getting the boot in Pittsburgh. Todd Reirden is out of Pittsburgh, the Wicked Witch of the Pittsburgh is out. Is out. He's finally gone. When I saw this, it was announced, I forget what day, midday, by the way. Just send it out there. Hey, Todd Reirden, gone. We parted ways. I thought there was going to be a list. I thought there was going to be Mike Vellucci, Andy Chiodo, Tom Kostop, like all these guys gone. But it wasn't. Yeah. It was just Todd Reirden. He is out. So it looks like, what it looks like from here, Mike Sullivan gets to keep a little bit of control. He gets to keep Mike Vellucci, but also gets to pick his next guy to run the power play. Now, if you stayed along with this podcast, number one, we didn't like Todd Reirden. We wanted him gone from the beginning. We finally got our wish. Second, we've had Coach Donnie Harkins on, and he knows Mike Vellucci. And he says that Mike Vellucci is an offensive-minded guy as well. So I'm wondering, do they make the switch for Mike Vellucci to not be the penalty kill, to be the power play, and bring someone in to take over Vellucci's spot? That's my thought. Or Mike Vellucci goes back to the American Hockey League, coaches Wilkes-Barre to get that Calder Cup. Those are my predictions, because then Sully gets his way in bringing in a new coaching staff that he controls, which I think Mike Sullivan likes to do that. Josh?
That's interesting. That's an interesting one. I think what's actually going to happen is, because I don't know enough, I will say. I will be transparent with this. I do not know enough about other teams' assistant coaches and their roles. Does every team have, do you know? Does every team have a penalty kill guy and a power play guy?
Some of them have more.
Okay. All right.
Like a head coach, assistant coach, and then two other assistant coaches. So, but I think there's only 3 allowed on the bench. I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong. You guys could probably fact check me.
I was just curious.
I'm pretty sure.
Because Sullivan likes control. I was wondering if he was maybe going to take something over. Whether it be kind of like what you were saying, Vellucci take power play, and then Sullivan take penalty.
Get that NFL mindset out of your head. Because this happens in the NFL a lot. Like, for example, the Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell.
He calls the plays.
I was about to say, did I get his name wrong? No, I did not. Everyone just calls him KOC.
KOC.
So KOC is the head coach, but also the offensive coordinator. Then we just have a defensive coordinator. I think that's what you're getting your wires crossed. I don't think
but I'm just wondering though, like, could that be something that he does? Because the thing is, like, Todd Reirden was already, say what you will about Todd Reirden, he has earned his way in the NHL. He is a respected coach. Okay. I wonder, is he going to want someone more that he can control? Sullivan, that is.
To mold. A mind for molding.
I don't know if it's exactly for molding or if it's literally just for control. But I think that may be...
Tomato.
Yeah, maybe the route that he wants to go, but yet still kind of have his hands in the pot. And that's kind of what I meant. Not so much that like he's literally just going to be the only guy on the bench and be like, yeah, this is what we're doing.
I thought you meant like he's going to take on responsibility of the power play, which honestly I wouldn't be mad at.
No, I mean, again, I don't know. I just mean like he wants the control, as in he wants to be able to control that coach. Like he wants to be able to say to that coach, no. Like override him and be like, no, this is what we're doing.
No. Put Jeff Carter out there.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
He's retired.
Exactly.
But,
exactly.
But sir, we're in the defensive zone. Doesn't matter. Put him out there.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's not a shot at Mike Sullivan. I love you, Mike Sullivan. Please come on the podcast. Dude, I would lose my mind if Mike Sullivan came on the podcast. Maybe he's coming on. You don't know. We don't know. We got stuff cooking this offseason. It's not as big as that. Trust me.
You're just about the guy from the meme. The guy behind the tree.
No, I didn't use that GIF though. I used Andy from Parks and Rec where he was like all excited.
Yeah.
But no,
the way you were rubbing your hands, you looked like the guy.
We got some cooking. All right, I'll come out of the mic.
The squinty
there you go.
eyes.
That's what he did. Anyway,
yeah, I know.
There's a lot of stuff we could talk about, but once again, that's for another day. We got stuff. There's stuff going on. We don't like that stuff right now. What we like is the 2023-2024 Player Awards. We got 7 categories. Oh, can we do it? Oh, I'm getting in the camera. Oh, here we go.
There we go.
And for you audio listeners, we are making it rain confetti in the video. So if you want to see that wonderful confetti, make sure you go on YouTube to look at it. All right, we got 7 categories. Josh, list them off.
All right, so I think we're going in this order.
Yeah, sure.
Beauty of the year.
Yeah.
Most valuable player.
What?
Best defenseman.
What?
Best forward.
What?
Most improved player.
What?
Surprise player. And best moment of the year.
Nice. Those are our 7 categories. Before we get started, okay, I want you to look at me right in the eyes. The pearly whites, as what we used to call them on this podcast, the pearly whites, which are your teeth. But
yes,
we say eyes here, pearly eyes. Look at these pearly whites, okay? Listen, these hazel. Look at these pearly hazels. Okay, listen to me. I want you to think who will be the MVP, the beauty, the best defenseman, all these categories. I want you to guess before we say it. Okay, we're doing things a little bit differently. Last year, we said, me and Josh, we're going to go head to head. But then we realized, maybe we're just too good at our jobs because we got the same answers. We realized, why don't we come at it at a different angle? We're going to tell you who these guys are. It's not going to be up for debate. These are the guys who the Penguins Collective podcast think deserve this award. It's a legit award, okay? We want you
better
to
than
guess.
A Dundee.
Yeah, a Dundee. First of all, a Dundee. The Stanley Cup, TPC, okay? TPC Awards, all the way up here. I want it enshrined. I want to get it engraved. I want to make sure that these people get their day with the cup. How cool would if we get that to the point where we're like, we mail it to them?
We should literally buy Dundies. And
say
put
best
like
player.
little engravers. Yeah.
That would be hilarious. We need all your players' addresses. So if you guys could just DM us your address, that'd be great. Sid, just DM us, dude. Just send me that text. Dude. Where you live. All that information.
When you're free to hang.
When you're free to hang out, dude. We've been trying to get you on the pod, you know? Don't forget about you, Sully. All right. Let's start off with our first category. All right, this episode is already off the rails. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Our first episode. Our first category.
Geez.
I know. This episode couldn't get worse. Beauty of the year. Josh, who's our beauty of the year?
I was trying to do a drum roll.
Well, would this sound bad?
Yeah, that sounds
That
bad.
sounds terrible. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I just erupted someone's eardrums.
Yeah, I was just thinking
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're blasting it with your AirPods, and I just came in. I'm sorry. Does this sound good? Can you hear that?
So the beauty of the year, we are going with Jansen Harkins.
Oh my gosh, Harks! We got Harks. The reason why he's the beauty of the year, he was on our podcast. Okay, selfish plug for the podcast. The dude came on. It was awesome. He didn't know how his camera was working. We got a shot of his knee, his carpet. It was awesome. It was an awesome interview. He's a cool dude. He likes just drinking straight up milk, which is interesting. Interesting to find out about that guy. He likes his frothers. He likes frothy
milk.
Which he said it so casual. Like we would gloss over it.
Like it's as if he's drinking water.
Yeah, we were like, oh, so you like coffee? He's like, nah, just give me the milk. I froth the milk and I drink that. And then he said, but anyway, I said, whoa. Go back to what you just said. Let's sit there. Let's let that conversation marinate that you like frothy milk. Dude's awesome. Dude is an awesome guy who's on the episode. If you missed that interview, make sure you go back and watch that episode. It's a great one. Great interview. He's really cool. He's our beauty of the league. Beauty of TPC of the year. First of all, not only was he on our podcast, Josh, he broke his hand punching a guy out. All right. Yeah. He stood up for his team and just started letting them go, dude. He brought him down, looked at his hand and said, I'm going to be out for like 12 weeks because my hand is demolished. But he sacrificed his hand because he crushed the dude's skull. He is awesome. And here's the reason why. I know a lot of people give him hate, but the dude does his job. There are things that people overlook when they try to evaluate a hockey player. Jansen Harkins does his job. He goes where he needs to go, and he is that role player on his line. That's why Mike Sullivan likes him. That's why Kyle Dubas likes him. And that's why the Penguins Collective podcast likes him.
Nice. Wow. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, he is the epitome of a lunch pail guy, you know?
I like that. Lunch pail guy. He's our lunch pail kid.
You get your lunch pail, you go to work, do your job, go home. You know?
That's right. 9 to 5, baby. He clocks in, and when he clocks in, he works hard till he clocks hot, and then he goes home and relaxes, drinking his frothy milk.
Yep. Yeah. Honestly, it like you said, everything that you want out of a bottom six forward, he is there when you need him. Sticks up for the players, physical, has a little bit of a little saucy mitts too. Don't
sleep on him.
Don't sleep on it. It's there.
He also, sorry to interrupt, very selfless. He passes the puck. He had a lot of times where he could have shot first, be selfish, but he didn't. He passed the puck. He set up a lot of guys, and can't be overlooked. He set up Lars Eller a lot to score this season. But Josh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think you just hit everything on the head. I think you nailed it. Speaking of offseason, upcoming free agent, see what Dubas does, see how much he likes him. Would love to have him back in the black and gold. That's for sure.
Yeah, I like him. I want him back. And not only just because he's a friend to the pod. I genuinely like him as a hockey player. I think he reminds me, if you give him time to develop in this system, he reminds me a lot of a Chris Kunitz, Pascal Dupuis. Give him time to get his
still
offensive.
Young. What is he, 25?
25, I think. He's look, let his feet get under him. Let him settle in Pittsburgh. Get him offensively going. I guarantee you would love him. And you would never want him to go. And I think Harkins is that kind of player. So give him a chance. Hopefully we re-sign him. We get him back. He's great. He is our TPC Beauty of the Year. Josh, next category.
Yeah, next category, we are going with the most valuable player. And most valuable player goes to none other than the individual on Louie's hat. That is the captain, Sidney Crosby.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, what do we got to say? We've been giving him praise all year long.
Yeah.
Is the last 13 games of the season, he literally carried the team on his back. I mean, he's the best hockey player in the world. He is tied Wayne Gretzky for point per game seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he's the best hockey player in the world.
Yeah.
Best hockey player in the world. He's our best hockey player. Dubas, get him signed. Anyway, he is our MVP.
You nailed it. And the thing is, like, he keeps quietly climbing the all-time points rankings as well. I think he's now 11th all time, which is crazy because you think about it, he's missed with injuries about a season and a half. You give him that season, he could
be
now
top
pushing
5 right now.
He's pushing. So there's not much more you can say about the greatest hockey player of our generation and arguably of all time. I think someone said it perfectly. I forget where I heard this, but NHL hockey may be the only sport where you can actually have multiple GOATs because the game has changed drastically so much that you can say Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and Sidney Crosby are all the greatest of all time.
They're so good. And I think that's what's the beauty of the game. And obviously Sidney Crosby emulates that. So he is our TPC MVP of the 2023-2024 season. I'm just thinking ahead next year. Sorry.
Josh, and I think that goes perfectly into the next category, which is the best forward, which will automatically.
Who's that, Josh? Who's that?
It's just copy and paste it.
It's Sidney Crosby. Unreal season. Not only that, I mean, just like I had a conversation this offseason with our dad, and he was saying that Crosby is not better than Mario Lemieux. Okay, and I said, whoa. Just watch him.
That was a Twitter poll not too long ago.
So I said, Dad, just watch him this season. And he, of course, pulled up some clips of this season. And he said, yeah, he is better than Mario Lemieux. You got to give, and that's this year. That's just this year. Best forward, not only in the for the Penguins, but in the NHL.
Yeah, and going with that theme, we got best forward. Now we're moving on to the blue line, the best defenseman.
Nice. Way to set that up, Josh. You're just like,
thank you.
That was great. Just knocking that one out, bringing it to the blue line. Love that.
Thank you.
Josh, we could have went a different ways. You're probably screaming at the screen right now. It's Chris Letang. It's Erik Karlsson. It's neither. Okay, let me tell you why. Josh, how did Chris Letang start this season?
Chris Letang started this season as an all-star. He played extremely well, defensively and offensively. He was Chris Letang of old.
You're telling me, Josh, he played outstanding. Josh, how did he end this season?
Like a pile of poo. He did not
like a pile
end the
of poo.
season very well.
Like a pile of poo. He did not end great. There was a lot of circumstances around that, but he turned the puck over more than he touched the puck. So I think Not good. He started off great, ended pretty poopy. Josh, Eric Carlson, how'd he start the season?
Yeah, not great.
Not great.
It was a 3-time Norris Trophy winner coming in, and he was playing not like that. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, then there were rumors of him being traded at the trade deadline. So, not the best performance.
Not the best. Josh,
Which,
how was our
granted,
power play? How was our power play with Eric Carlson?
Yeah, not good.
Not good.
The
Josh,
worst.
how did
worst.
he actually? Yeah, the worst. How did Eric Carlson end his season, Josh, with the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Yeah, it started to look like that 3-time Norris Trophy winner, and the reason why Kyle Dubas brought him in here.
Yeah, all of a sudden he decided Sid's playing pretty great right now. I guess I'll turn on my Jets. All right, I guess I'll flip that switch. Okay, and he came in and he was dancing on that blue line. He all of a sudden you just see him rockets. Boom, 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 setting up Sid, and you're like, where was this all season, dude? And he ended great. He ended his season great. He was Eric Carlson, dude.
Yeah.
But you know who had a great season, Josh? Who was consistent in the beginning of the season and in the end of the season? Now, I'm not saying he was 3-time Norris Trophy level. I'm not saying he was Chris Letang in the beginning of the season. But he was consistent. He knew what he had to do. He played it well. He stood up for his teammates. He created breakouts. He knew what he had to do. Josh, that's the Dragon. That's the Dragon, baby. That's Marcus Pettersson. Yep. He is our TPC best defenseman. He deserves it. He played well. He was flopping between the great Chris Letang and the great Eric Carlson. We didn't know who to pair him with because he was in his own lane. And that's how well he was playing, because they wanted whoever they wanted to be better, they put on the first line with Marcus Pettersson. Let me just rephrase that. Marcus Pettersson didn't waver. They were trying to figure out who to put with him. Was it Eric Carlson or was it Chris Letang? Regardless, Marcus Pettersson is on the first line of that defense. Yep. And he played great. He had a lot of great highlights, but he was consistent throughout the season.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you're talking about defensive play, you know, you can have someone like an Eric Carlson who is, you know, offensive minded and, you know, looking for a goal or an assist. And you can have someone who's like Chris Letang, who is a little bit of both. But the thing is, you need someone like Marcus Pettersson, who is the defensive anchor, who will be there day in, day out to lock it down, to be the guy on the blue line that you can rely on every time. Like you said, he is the staple of the defensive pairings. We thought
not the best, the staple.
Yes,
but I can hear people typing on their keyboards right now. What do you mean he's the staple? Chris Letang has been here for 17 years.
Yeah,
he's the staple of the defense. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. That's exactly where I was going next, is that the fact of the matter is Chris Letang has been here for a long period of time. But the thing is, he's a different player than he was when he first came in. You know, he's a different player than he was 2-3 years ago. And he's, quite frankly, a different player than Marcus Pettersson. There's a reason why that type of talent is coveted. He was talked about being traded the last offseason and at the trade deadline. Not because he doesn't want to be here, but it's because that's the type of talent that teams need. And they want it. Valuable asset. And that is Marcus Pettersson to a T. That is the Dragon. That is why he has the nickname the Dragon. It's not just because it's a cool nickname, but just because it's just that's the type of player that he is, and that's what you need on that blue line.
And that is why he is the TPC best defenseman. You have something to say about it? Put it in the comment below. All right, Josh, let's move along. Thanks. Most improved.
Yeah.
Take it away.
I mean, last season we did this, and we did a rookie of the year category, and
I didn't know you were going with it.
we didn't have many. We didn't have a lot of guys, but we had one guy, and we kind of felt like we had to give it to him. He didn't play well last year, but we felt like, he was the only newbie. So we had to give it to him, and that was Drew O'Connor. And
Doc!
this year, he took a huge step. Not only in the beginning of the year, because at the beginning of the year, you saw it. It was literally just, wow, Drew O'Connor looks a lot better this year.
He started on the fourth line this season.
Yeah, out of the gate.
In the beginning of the season, fourth line. All of a sudden, next thing you know, he's high-fiving Sidney Crosby after a breakaway. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it was the turning point where you actually saw it. Jake Gensel's trade. After Jake Gensel's trade, he stepped up. It's like he saw an opening and was like, I'm just going to slither on in here and just take this as my new role. And I think that's what you're going to see next year even more. You're going to see Drew O'Connor steadily improve year in, year out to become Crosby's next wingmate along with Brian Rust. And I think that is the trajectory of Drew O'Connor, and he embraced it this year. Oh. And especially after that Guentzel trade, he is on the uptick. He is on the uptick to
getting better from here.
Exactly, to only get better and to become that front top linesman with Crosby.
And not only did he just kind of step up to the plate, he saw an opportunity and grabbed it. Yeah. Not only has he was climbing up, he was making through his rounds, he was playing with Malkin, flirting with that second to third line, filled in with the first line whenever they needed him. But when Jake Guentzel left, he knew his role. Mm-hmm. Young, fast, give it to Sid. And not only did he give it to Sid, he took the puck and he scored. And all of a sudden, me and Josh are talking, saying, who needs Jake Guentzel? This guy, Doc, is our guy now. He's the guy. Plus, he's younger. He's our future. Maybe this is the guy who's going to eventually take the C from Sid in years to come. This guy has played phenomenal. So not only was he a great rookie last year, he has continued his dominance, and he's on the first line. That's hard to say. Last year was flirting between AHL and NHL. Now he's on a solidified first line of the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's a jump. And so, of course, that is why he is our TPC most improved player. Josh.
Yeah, sorry.
Take the segue bus. Move it from the most improved to our next one.
Well, that reaction leads us to the next category. As I was surprised that I missed your segue, this next category is the surprise player of the year. This one is a hard one because you can go a few different ways. You
could be surprised that they didn't play the way we expected.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. We can go with Tristan Jarry, who surprised us in not playing well.
Tummy aches. Yeah.
And you can go with anyone you want. You go with Lars Eller, who everyone was, kicking to the curb and, saying he doesn't have it anymore.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So, but what we went with is we went with the hot hand who almost carried us to a playoff spot. And that was Alex Nedeljkovic.
Yeah, it was big old Ned. Yeah, Ned he played out of his mind. Jarry had an upset tummy. And Nedeljkovic said, listen, I just won the last 2 games. I'll go back to back. I don't give a poop. I come from an AHL background. We do that crap all the time down there. Back to back to back to back. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to go. Oh, by the way, I'll be your goalie for the rest of the season. And that's exactly what he did. He showed up. He played so well. It was basically the Sidney Crosby and the Alex Nedeljkovic show for the Pittsburgh Penguins for the last, last month of the season. They would be the reason if we were to make the playoffs. It would be because of those two guys. And obviously, when you look at Nedeljkovic when the season started, I wish I could find the clip to play it for you. It was us reacting, going, Alex Nedeljkovic or Alex Nedeljkovic. I don't know what his name is. He's our backup. No way is he going to be our backup. I was saying it was going to be
Magnus Hellberg,
who we traded away, but it was I thought it was going to be Hellberg. I did not think this Nedeljkovic guy was going to be the guy. Turns out he was our best goaltender all season. And, dude, he surprised me for sure. Alex Nedeljkovic made so many timely saves. He understood the assignment. And if you're catching our drift here with our player awards, look, it's everyone who understands their job. Okay? From Jansen Harkins all the way to Ned, he understood what he had to do. Be the anchor for the Penguins, the last line of defense. He got it. He understood it. And he completed it with elegance, Josh.
Yeah, and it's a part of it is because of the hot streak that he had at the end of the season that almost propelled us into the playoffs. But let's not forget about the beginning of the season. We had a top 3, top 5 tandem with him and Jari because both of them were collectively leading the league in shutouts.
That is true.
They were dominating at the beginning of the season. So
that is true.
Right out of the gate, someone who Louie didn't think was even going to make the NHL roster was essentially a 1B to Tristan Jarry's 1A. Nice. And obviously things went the way they went, and we tried to just ride out Jarry being the solidified 1, and it didn't work out, and things happened. But to his credit, to his role, Alex Nedeljkovic stepped up, became the number 1, and carried it like it was his,
baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he owned that role. He owned that role, and dude was on fire. And which makes us sad because now we're like, oh, are we getting rid of him? What are we doing?
Yeah,
because of course,
find someone else.
The easy thing to say after this season is Ned's our guy, right? But Jari's still here. So it's kind of what if, but the most surprising player was our backup goaltender outshining our starter, which did we see a little flashes of that last season? Yeah, we did actually. So maybe Jari is the problem. Anyway, let's not get into that. This is not the episode for that. But our surprise player, our TPC surprise player of the year is Alex Nedeljkovic.
Beautiful. And to wrap this up.
Oh, yeah. Last one, baby.
Bow on it. The last category is best moment. And it's hard to encompass. It's hard to encompass an entire season, 82 games down to one moment.
We sucked this season.
One category to just summarize the entire season. We couldn't think of one because the season was all over, up and down. Hated it. Probably the worst season I remember in quite some time.
Well,
but there were some glimpses. There were some glimpses of some hope, some good play, some nice memories, nice milestones we were able to, celebrate with the players.
Yeah.
But there was one man that brought light down to a dark city when they're just down in the dumps.
Who was that, Josh?
He came all the way from the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
That man was Jaromír Jágr.
Oh, my gosh, dude. He came into Pittsburgh and brought joy with him, okay? He came in said, we're retiring my number. It's going to be a part. I'm going to be here for weeks, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not here for a day. Like, I'm here for a week. And what an eventful week that was, okay? I'm getting into town. It's a party. Hey, retiring my number. We're going to be in this arena for 3 hours, dude. Celebrating me.
Before the game.
Okay? Before the game. And what does he do? He's eating ice cream, dude. This is the best, dude. And then all of a sudden, all his bobbleheads gone. Stolen. Okay? Stolen. And he was still in Pittsburgh when this happened. Even much so that we have our inside people about in the Penguins organization. They said they made a bad situation nice by calling up Jaromir Jagr saying, hey, you want to film a promo? And he was like, tell me when and where. He shows up, films this little, let's buckle up. Let's go find these bobbleheads. Ha ha ha. Take the internet by storm. Jaromir Jagr's that dude. Not only does he just love hockey, he just loves being in Pittsburgh. Like, it shows, and it brings a smile to my face because you could tell the guy was having so much fun. Hanging out with Sid and Gino, Mario. Just, man, the jokes he told about, man, all this fun time I had in Pittsburgh and my girlfriend wasn't even born yet. Dude was...
Yeah.
What a legend. What a legend. He
So
had
good. The
stories.
fact, one of the things that I learned through that ceremony, I didn't know that his nickname was Gino. So essentially, they were saying he was the first Gino in Pittsburgh, which is wild. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
It was cool.
It was the behind the scenes because the public didn't call him Gino as much as we call Evgeny Malkin Gino.
Correct.
It was known, but you had to be in the know to know that. I know I just said no a lot. Relax.
Yeah, I'm tracking.
Thank you. You had to be in the know to understand that Jaromir Jagr's nickname was Gino. See how I just flirted around that one, Josh?
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks. Our best moment was got to be the 2 weeks of joy that we received in the 2 weeks of Jaromir Jagr. That was the joy we received. So, pretty dope. Pretty dope. Josh?
Yeah. No, it was also kind of best moment for me personally, just because, kind of like how, we watched, the older generation with our dad. I was watching that ceremony and that game with my boys. So like the passing of generations, like that was like, that's pretty cool to experience. And, obviously at some point it'll be,
don't say it,
when I'm watching Crosby's number retire. Yeah.
Let's not take too much heartbreak in a season. Okay?
It's coming.
It's not coming anytime soon. Sidney Crosby, he's going to be around forever. Okay? He's going to sign a 12-year contract, and he's going to ride him out for another 12 years.
He's going to be the next Jagr, except
how awesome
NHL.
Would that be? Like, here comes 50-year-old Sidney Crosby. Been in the league for 40 years. That'd be unreal, dude. All right. But, guys, that was our TPC 2023-2024 Player Awards. It just keeps on getting better every year, dude. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, we usually put some episodes out, so stay tuned. We got a lot of things cooking. We got some plans maybe for the Stanley Cup. I don't want to give too much away, but we have some stuff cooking there. We got some other stuff going on. Honestly, the thing that we're really cooking up isn't until September, so you got to kind of wait. So, like, we know when it is, but now you know, but it's just, you don't know what it is, though. So
Sneak
we will.
peek in the Discord if you join.
Oh, actually, there is. Oh, yeah. There is going to be a sneak peek in the Discord months in advance before we announce it live. So if you want to stay in the know, Josh, if you want to stay in the know, hop over on our Discord. It's Discord / the Penguins Collective. Come on in. It's awesome. It's, first of all, very family friendly. Also, we have so many cool people on that Discord. We have a lot of people who just chat.
A lot
Josh,
of
they just
OGs.
chat. A lot of OGs, dude.
Yeah.
So many people are great. But make sure you join for announcements, sneak peeks, and previews of things that are upcoming for the podcast. Also, you're gonna get some cool stuff that you don't usually get just by watching. During the West Coast trips of every season, we only record and do stuff on Discord. So it's a late game. So what we do is during the game, we are live with just the people on Discord. So it's a really cool experience. A bunch of people come on, we chat during the game. It's a really cool experience. If you want to be a part of that, go to go to Discord / the Penguins Collective. I know I butchered that one too. If not, the link is in our bio. We appreciate you guys so much for watching us, staying tuned. It's going to be awesome. We have an awesome season coming up. If you thought this season was cool, my guy, can't wait for this upcoming season. Josh, final words.
No, I think you're exactly right. This is going to be an exciting off season leading up to the season, not only for the Penguins but for us. We're going to make some changes to things to how we're going to be doing things. So all I'm going to say is just I'm excited. I'm excited.
Nice.
We'll just
leave it there.
See what we got.
Leave it there. Leave it there. Can't wait to see you guys. Stay tuned for updates. We're on Twitter, all social media platforms. Where's your paper, Josh? There we go. All our social media platforms at Pens Collective. So make sure you go follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. We'll see you guys in the next one. And Josh, as always,
let's go Pens.